What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Collection, Shazam from DC Rebirth. And so here we have Shazam pose and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories. Shazam does come with 2 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of fists, and then we get a pair of splayed open hands. He does come with 2 lightning attachments which do go around his arms nicely, and then he does come with a McFarlane display stand. Other than that, Shazam here doesn't come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Shazam. And so here we have a closer look at Shazam, and I have to say that McFarlane has done a really good job with this figure. Now, originally when I saw this figure, I thought it was a custom of DC Essentials Shazam made into Multiverse style, but no, this is actually its own figure, and I really do like it. It does bear a striking resemblance to the DC Essentials Shazam, but I really do like this figure. It looks really good for Shazam. Now, that's not saying it's a perfect figure. There are some flaws that I have with it, but we'll have a look at that in a little bit. As far as the head sculpt goes, perfect for Shazam. I think they did a really good job with the overall look for Shazam. I think this is the best look for him. It looks really cocky, looks really arrogant, and that's pretty much how Shazam is because he's a 12-year-old child. But yeah, I really do like it. I'm not a fan of the hair, to be quite honest. Now, I do know that there are some hair that look like this, but the fact that there's so much space in between the hairline and the ear, it is throwing me off a little bit, and I'm not a fan of that. But overall, the face sculpt is perfect for Shazam, as well as the rest of the body. Now, this is actually a body we have seen before, and if you guys are wondering, yes, he shares most of the parts that we saw with King Shazam. So yes, he is almost a reuse of parts from that figure. Now, he does have some very new parts, such as this lightning overlay, which looks really good. His cape is brand new, as well as the clasps, and his forearms and his shins, as well as his crotch piece, are new. But the torso in general is from the King Shazam figure. Now, if you don't believe me, we can raise his lightning bolt up just a little bit, and you can see the line work where the King Shazam's thunderbolt did go there. I do like the way they did this. There's really hardly any way you can actually make this look without making his torso drop down so low, so I am okay with this being its own separate piece. Then of course we do have this right here, his cape looking good, which the cape is where I have one of the biggest issues with. Now, it is a more modern Shazam cape where he has the hood, which I'm okay with him having the hood. What they are missing here is the gold trim on his cape. There is absolutely no gold trim on Shazam's cape, and that is bad. I would have really loved to see the gold trim right here on his cape. They don't have it right here at the bottom of his cape, unfortunately, but yeah, his cape should have a gold trim going around it at the bottom right here at this spot on the cape. Missed opportunity by McFarlane there, and don't say they couldn't use gold paint, because his clasps right here, those are gold paint. And there's also gold paint right here on his emblem, although I think that's molded in gold. Yep, that's molded in gold, so maybe they did. No, they had to have had gold paint because they painted his belt. So yeah, I don't understand why they didn't paint more of it. Is it gold paint? Now I'm questioning if it's gold paint or white paint, but no, I don't think they painted the cape white. I'm just rambling at this point. Moving on to the rest of the figure, again, we do have the same design work that we saw on King Shazam, just on a more classic looking Shazam, which I'm perfectly okay with. These gauntlets looking really good, and then he does have fists. His relaxed hands seem a little bit oversized, so I'm probably going to keep mine with the fists at all times. I do like the fact that they gave him a brand new belt. You can see the line work in it looking spectacular. The triangle right here looks good, and I do like the lightning bolts and the design work on his outfit overall. Really like the textures, really like the outline, and I want to say that this is a reuse from the Endless Winter Black Adam. I haven't had a look at that figure, but yeah, he has a buckle right here, which originally I thought it was a carryover from King Shazam, but no, King Shazam's boot was a rubber overlay, so I don't understand why he has this belt just randomly on his calf. Really do like his shoes though. They did a really good job with the golden boots. Really nice details there. So overall, Shazam here is a pretty impressive figure, and I really do like the way he came out. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Shazam compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Shazam posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Shazam posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Shazam posed next to a Lightning Collection White Range and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for one final comparison, here we do have Shazam posed next to the Page Punchers Black Adam. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at Shazam's articulation. Shazam does have a double ball joint here in the head, which does let him look up to about right there. He can look down a little bit, but this joint on mine is kind of stiff, so it does limit some range. You can see he does tilt side to side, but again, it's really stiff. And then we do have left and right rotation. He has another ball joint here at the base of the neck, which I think it should go further, but I have a feeling that mine is put on wrong, like maybe the neck is actually flipped upside down, which is why it kind of juts out like that. It might just be my imagination, but yeah, it does lean down really nicely and does help him look up even further. He has a ball joint here in the shoulder, which does pivot forward and back, up and down, out to the side, no problem. Does go all the way around, but he does get limited by his cape, and his cape is heavy. Just like with the movie Hooded Black Adam, his cape is very thick. It doesn't allow for much movement, so his arm will only go up to about right there. We do have a bicep swivel, which works fine. A little bit stiff on mine. Double bend here at the elbow, going to about right there, so we get some pretty good range. We do have a ball joint here at the wrist, which does go up and down, and we can turn it to have in and out movement, and then of course it rotates on that pin. He does have a ball joint here in his torso, which does lean back and forward, goes really nicely, side to side, swivels. Then we have another ball joint at the base of his waist right here, which does allow for some movement, not a lot. Does rotate as well, but most of your rotation is going to be done at the top part, which unfortunately the cape does make that very back heavy. You can see once you get past a certain point, the cape just weighs its body down so much. It's really frustrating. Legs do go forward to about right there, which is pretty respectable. They do get snagged on the back, so be cautious about that. Going out to the side, he can do the split. He has a thigh swivel, which is very stiff, almost non-existent. Double bend here at the knee, going to about right there. Then we don't have any boot swivel, but we do have rotation at his foot, a little bit stiff. Back and forward hinge, forward facing pin for rocker ankle, and then of course we have a mild toe hinge. Surprisingly, that actually threw me for a little bit of a loop. Normally McFarlane likes to give us an overly generous toe hinge, but overall I do like his articulation. It just sucks that his cape is so heavy. There has to be another way to do this. McFarlane has done bigger, lighter capes than this, so yeah, that's probably my major gripe with this figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get to Shazam pose for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane DC Multiverse Shazam pose for my final thoughts, and overall, a long time coming for this figure. I'm actually surprised that we got King Shazam before we even got an original Shazam, but that's just the way McFarlane works, unfortunately. But happy that we do have Shazam here in hand now. That does bring up the point that he is a gold label figure, and if you don't know what that is a Walmart or Target exclusive figure, and Shazam here is exclusive to Walmart, and that is really unfortunate because Shazam is a really popular character. It doesn't make any sense that popular characters like Shazam, Parallax, Asbat, they're all store exclusives, and I would rather prefer reissues and color variants as the store exclusives rather than singular characters, because it makes it harder to collect figures when you hide very sought after characters as exclusive. Hasbro does it, McFarlane does it, Mattel did it. It's a very bad business sense, but I do understand why they do it. It makes the figure valuable or whatnot, but as a collector, it's just frustrating when we have store exclusives and we have to go hunting for them. I just stumbled upon Shazam when I went to Walmart to get cat food, and that is surprising that he was just sitting on the shelf, not on the pegs, but he was just on the shelf lying face down, and that's kind of how I saw him. So I picked mine up for about $20, which thankfully Walmart did lower the price of these back to $20. I remember when they were slowly creeping the price up to $22, which that's unheard of. McFarlane figures should be $19.99, and that's a good price point for what you get with them. Although I think some paint apps would help this figure stand out a little bit better, I'm still really happy with Shazam here now. Like I said, unfortunately he is a gold label figure, which makes him exclusive to Walmart. So if you are looking for Shazam, you're gonna have to take the walk of shame and find him at Walmart, unfortunately. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other McFarlane videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.